Okay, we're going to look at the text tool now. So I'm going to bring up some text first of all. Just click in here and type something in. Maybe the word Quicksilver. It's very small, so I'm going to make that a bit bigger. Maybe go to something like 100 point will probably work on a screen size like this. Maybe I'll change the color instead of black, make it pink. Okay, the first thing we're going to look at is how we can change individual letters. So I'm going to open up something called the character panel. Now I can do that quite quickly by pressing Ctrl and T, and there we go, it opens up this panel. I've got character, paragraph and open type, but character is the only bit that I'm interested in at the moment. If I highlight an individual letter, I can do things like offset it by changing it this way, or changing it upwards, or I could rotate it. In fact, any of these individual things you can play with to see what the effects might be on your letters. I'm just going to reset both of these back to 0 now, just so that it doesn't affect the next thing that I'm going to be doing. Okay, and I'm going to close my character panel up for the time being. Okay, something else you can do with these letters is actually break them down so you can individually edit what's called the anchor points on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for my direct selection tool. You can see this puts this blue line underneath, but I'm now going to right click and I'm going to choose create outlines, and you'll see what happens next. So it basically puts all the anchor points on all the individual letters. Now if I didn't want to right click, I could have come up here and clicked on type and clicked on create outlines. You can see it's grayed out now because I've already done it, but I could have done it that way as well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pick on an individual letter, but before I do that I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can actually see. Whoops, not quite as much as that, I don't think. Let's go out, do minus. Let's go in a little bit on here. So there's my K, nice and big. I'm just using the space bar to move my image around. Holding down space bar gives you that hand. I'm going to individually edit this K, so I'm going to choose this direct selection tool. Now if I grab just the top, you'll see what happens is I've got two blue dots on these anchors and the other anchors are all kind of white. The blue ones are the ones that I've now selected, so I could basically drag this letter and make it smaller or make it taller or do things with it, but it doesn't move the whole letter, it just moves those anchor points. If I only want to move one anchor point, say for instance I want to take this corner one here, I'm going to click that so it goes blue. All the other ones are white, which means I'm only editing that one point now, which allows me to move it around and do things with it. And I can do that with any of these points to be able to create some quite interesting, or horrible looking, depending on how you look at it, shapes. Okay, the last thing I'm going to have a quick look at with you is how to put text on a pathway. So I'm going to get rid of what we've got here already, just going to delete that out of the way. And I'm going to go for my pencil tool. So now I can draw myself a little line using my path tool, my pencil tool, and on this path I can place some text by holding down my text and going for type on a path tool. Hit the pathway with my icon. As soon as it says the word path, I can type something in. If I go for my selection tool now, you see these handles that are on there. Those handles will allow me to move it around a little bit if I choose to. I can even put it upside down if I want to. I can grab this one here and pull it downwards. Put my text underneath. I'll leave it where it is for now. When I come off it again, if I want to go back into my text tool, I can still highlight my text and make any changes I might want to, like the color and so on. And when I click off it completely, the pathway is not visible, but my text is, and I can still edit the letters in any way that I choose to.